What up, y'all? So Marvel just dropped all of the actors that's scheduled to appear in the next Avengers movie, Doomsday, and it's a total of 27 people, and you'll never believe who made the cut. Hey, make sure you subscribe to my page. I'm trying to grow over here. And they've hinted it's more to come. Let's check it out. All right, so I'm gonna break this list down into groups. The first group, I'll call this the OG MCU crew. So we have Robert Downey Jr., who's supposed to be playing the villain in the story, DrDoom. We have Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Anthony Mackie as Captain America, Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, and Tom Hiddleston as Loki. So this is the crew that I call the OG MCU crew. Next up, this group, we'll call them the Coogler crew or the Wakanda crew. All right, so we have Letitia Wright coming back as Shuri, Winston Duke will be coming back as M'Baku, and finally we have Tenoch as Namor. The next two people are kind of paired off by themselves. They're not really tied to anybody else. So we have Shang-Chi, Simu Liu, and we also have Danny Ramirez coming back as Falcon. Yo, I ain't gonna flex. I like Danny Ramirez. I think he was a bright spot in Captain America 4. The next group of people we're gonna announce is gonna be Team X-Men, which is my favorite team of them all. I am a X-Men girly. So we have Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen are both returning as Professor X and Magneto. Lord bless their soul. These men, they're old, but they're still hanging in there. Okay. Kelsey Grammer is back as Beast. Rebecca Romaine will be showing up as Mystique. And James Marsden will be taking another swing at Cyclops. Let's see how the Russos handle him. Now, these last two, I ain't gonna flex. There were some surprises. I never expected for Channing Tatum to come back as Gambit. And I never thought that Alan Cumming was coming back as Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler was never on anybody's plot leaks or scoops. So that was pretty new. Moving on, the next group, we're gonna call those the First Family. We have Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, and finally Ebon Moss-Barack as The Thing. Now, the final group to be announced is going to be the Thunderbolts or Dark Adventures. We have Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova, Sebastian Stan is coming back as Bucky, Lewis Pullman will be coming back as Sentry, David Harbour as Red Guardian, Wyatt Russell as U.S. Agent, and finally Hannah Kamen as Ghost. Out of everybody on this list, the only three people that really surprised me was U.S. Agent, Nightcrawler, and Gambit. Everybody else, I pretty much expected to see them somewhere on this list. Now, for me personally, Namor is the person I'm most excited to revisit because he don't like people from the surface world. And that is Ryan Coogler code for colonizers. We just gonna keep it a buck. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they handle this character and how he deals with being around other surface people. Now, there is quite a few people missing. Famke. Now, I was just at an X-Men panel a few weeks ago, and she said she never received any calls from Marvel for either Deadpool or Wolverine, Doomsday, or Secret Wars. Iceman was there as well. He said he didn't get any phone calls for her comeback either. I just did a video a few days ago about Elizabeth Olsen saying she was not showing up for either Doomsday or Secret Wars. Y'all should check that video out. I think she's holding out for a little bit more money. We also don't see Monica Rambeau, Rhodey, Okoye, Spider-Man, Zhao Ling, Doctor Strange, none of the Hulks, the Young Avengers, Hawkeye, Chris Evans, Captain Marvel, the Guardians, Mahershala Ali, the Eternals, or Jeffrey Wright on this list. So there's quite a group of people that's still missing out here. Now, Disney did give an exclusive to the Hollywood Reporter and pretty much stated, hey, there's going to be some more people to come. I don't think the other people coming is going to be like big names. I feel like we kind of got all of the surprises with the X-Men people. Now, this whole shenanigan of putting all this together, this Marvel announcement felt like something out of the Beyonce book of marketing because y'all had millions of people sitting here watching this stream as they put down one chair every 15 minutes. I stopped watching it out for a while. I gave up. Now, what I will say is I haven't watched the most recent episodes of Daredevil yet, but I'm curious, why did Marvel do this announcement the way that they did? It was so random. It was out of the blue. And it felt like if anybody did have anything good to say about Daredevil, Marvel just stumped all over it with this announcement. Like, this announcement took any type of conversation away from those episodes that came out a few nights ago. Sinners, they had a promo drop today that was completely smothered by this campaign. Jonathan Majors also announced that he had a movie coming out. They probably should have saved that to next week because that got smothered as well. And And why didn't they just announce the whole cast? It's not like the remaining people are super surprises. If anything, you'd think they hold off on people like maybe the X-Men. So I wonder if the people that they haven't confirmed yet are just flying in later to film, or are the contracts still up in the air? There's so many questions I kind of still have, but let's get into a little bit of the controversy surrounding this Doomsday cast. So, when Letitia's right name was announced, I saw a little outrage, which I don't know why. Of course, Shuri is going to be in this Avengers movie. Now, we don't know what her role will be. We don't know if she's Shuri the Black Panther. We don't know if she's Shuri, Queen of Wakanda. M'Baku could have just been filling in part-time while she went over and kind of got her life together in Haiti. There's still so many unanswered questions about the world of Wakanda. So, I speculate come May or June, Ryan Coogler will be getting some phone calls to help them fill in these blanks because, yeah, there's a lot of unanswered questions. I also saw some people a little hesitant about the Namor casting. So a few years back, some months after Wakanda Forever came out, a woman got on Twitter and ranted and accused Tanapuerta of assaulting her. Now, this was around the time I was covering the Jonathan Majors case, and somebody hit me up, and I wish I could find the DM. I got so many DMs, I can't even remember where it was. But it was somebody from Mexico, and they told me that they would kind of watch out to see if the documents got filed in court, because then they would get the documents over to me to go over the case. After a few months, the person was like, yo, nothing was never filed. This lady kind of has a habit of making these accusations. So all in all, nothing never really came of the Tanapuerta situation. So personally, I think Marvel did the right thing. They let the man keep his job. There was no court case. There was no conviction. So me personally, I wasn't surprised that Tanak was in this film. Out of everybody on this list, I want to see him as Namor probably more than anybody else on the list. So based off this cast, based off these reveals, is there anybody missing on the list that you think should definitely come back? Leave your comments below. Thanks for hanging out with me. Peace.